Hello, my name is Ben Matthews at the University of Queensland, and I'll be presenting with Isaac Salisbury and Paul Schlosser among a team of 5 that has been working on studying quick service restaurants for the possibilities of developing head-worn displays to support the kinds of work that take place there. This is part of a larger project that is looking at high-tempo work in general and head-worn displays. And our principal context of interest will ultimately be emergency first response. But in the meantime, quick service restaurants were thought by us to be an initial sort of low risk environment in which to try out some ideas, to study the workplace, and to be looking at very fast-paced, manual, coordinated, socially distributed work that seems like it would be a good candidate for the benefit of head-worn displays. If you haven't read the paper, or if you have no intention of ever reading the paper, the takeaway message from us is that while we thought fast food kitchens would be a great place to try out some head-worn displays, and there are some really promising use cases that we've tentatively identified, for every advantage that head-worn displays might add to the way that work is organized in a quick service restaurant, we can see potential drawbacks as well, and ways that would complicate some of the naturally socially organized ways that quick service restaurant operators conduct their work. And in terms of the messages of the paper, we've identified, rather than design principles or guidelines in this spirit, we've identified trade-offs, these design tensions, where while you could do this to improve this aspect of work, this may have these negative consequences. And there's a great deal of design judgment that will need to take place in order to develop head-worn display applications that don't fall foul of some of the negative sides of the potential of head-worn displays in this space. Our project has been informed by about 20 hours of on-site fieldwork in quick service restaurants, and from those we developed ethnographic vignettes and a set of use cases that we present in the paper. And these design tensions are the primary output of the research outcome of our work. Over to you, Isaac.
Thanks, Ben. Okay, so now I'm going to briefly describe the overall structure of the work, and I'll present one of these vignettes. So fundamentally, the goal of the quick service restaurants is to take orders, prepare them, and deliver them to the customer as quickly and consistently as possible. Now, in the restaurants that we saw, the orders came in from lots of different sources. For example, drive-through, or customers in the restaurant, or online orders. But all of these orders were then funneled into the same system, where information was presented at very specific locations in space within the kitchen. What results then is a kitchen that is saturated with multimodal information, but all of this information is located exactly where it needs to be for it to drive the work. Now, for example, in one restaurant, order items were printed on stickers from various printers in the kitchen. And these stickers show crew what to make, and then the stickers then travel through the system with the food attached to some of the food's packaging. Now, typically, this information drove the work and allowed for smooth coordination because the relevant information was publicly presented where it was needed and only where it was needed. But here's a vignette that demonstrates a challenge of this really tight spatial resolution. Okay, so it was a particularly busy night one night, and there were several crew on the kitchen line. So here you can see the kitchen line where food is produced and kind of assembled down from right to left. Now, on this night, just two staff had each placed an enchilada in the grill, one vegetarian and one chicken. Now, typically, the sticker that is placed on the enchilada that travels with the food item is taken off them before grilling so that the sticker wouldn't burn in the grill. Now, this creates a brief moment where the information about the item is separated from the item itself, which is rare in this kitchen. In this case, that separation resulted in a situation where neither the crew member could remember which enchilada was which, and so they had to remake at least one of them. Now, fortunately, the manager was positioned next to the grill, and they noticed the confusion. They could see that there was no way for the crew to determine which enchilada was which because of this separation of information and item. So the manager then instructed the crew to stay in their specific positions to avoid similar situations from happening again. This vignette, among many of the other observations that we found, got us thinking about how much the information system drives the work, how closely the information is tied to its location in space, and what this means for the public availability of the information itself, and also for the visibility of other team members' orientation to that information. Maybe Shipal?
Thanks, Isaac. So I'll be talking a bit about what this really means for head-worn displays and their use in quick service restaurants. So I think the most important takeaway message from the vignette that we just heard is that information in a quick service restaurant has to be available at the exact time, exact right time, and the exact right location. And we really like the concept of using stickers in a quick service restaurant because they tie the information about a food item to the food item itself. So we came up with this head-worn display prototype that uses AR to track food items in the restaurant and then display relevant information right next to the item in a similar fashion as paper-based stickers would do it, but in a digital form. So the advantage of this over conventional stickers would be that the food item and the AR overlay would be inseparable, at least if tracking worked properly. And also the overlays could display very complex information because you can update them frequently. Finally, there's also the advantage of displaying different kinds of information to different team members, just depending on their needs in the current situation. So this is all very promising. However, as Ben mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, there are also tensions that are associated with head-worn displays in quick service restaurants. For example, and this is very important for this prototype, information on a sticker is visible to everyone within the restaurant, so it's very easy to retrieve. Whereas with the head-worn display, only the wearer can really see what's going on with the food item. So this is a tension here because on the one hand, you really have need that everyone is aware of what's going on in the restaurant. And on the other hand, you have the need to see rich information with the head-worn display. So here you can see all the design tensions that we identified in the paper. And that really brings us to the end of this presentation. If you want to know more about the project, please refer to the paper in the ACM Digital Library. And thank you very much for watching the video.